Hi, my name is Laurence Colton. I live in Palm Springs, California. When I came out in the latter part of high school, my last year of high school. I came out because I met a young guy who was in my class who was quite flamboyant, and I'd really never known a lot of gay guys. And he had a yellow Firebird, hot yellow Firebird, he had red hair, and he really introduced me to what being gay was about. Interesting enough, his father was running for mayor of San Francisco, and he was closeted around his dad. But finally, when they finally figured out that he was gay, they actually sent him away to Spain during the campaign because they were concerned about him hurting his father's mayoral chances. So that was an interesting time. He did. He took me to my first gay bar. You know, he told me about gay lifestyle. He was very helpful. Although he was a little crazy because even back then he was old for his age. He was very sophisticated. He knew a lot more about gay life than a kid of our age in high school would have known. So it was a fast and interesting journey. I never really came out to my family. My dad died when he was 64 and I was 22. So he never knew that I was gay. My mom sort of knew without me actually talking about it, but she actually found out when my partner of 10 years, and we're talking now when I was 40, when my partner died of AIDS, I went to her and told her what she already knew emotionally. I said, I need to tell you that I'm gay, but I'm only telling you this because my friend Joe, who you've known all these 10 years, is dying of AIDS. So that was my actual formal coming out, even though she knew, as mothers do, much sooner. But she never really wanted to talk about it. Yes, when my partner, Joe McCann, contracted AIDS, it was in 1989, and he died in 1991. And at that point, the epidemic was in full force. And consequently, what I did in reaction was I got involved active in the AIDS community. First of all, I went on the board of the San Francisco AIDS Foundation. That was a big AIDS organization in San Francisco. And it was interesting because all the people on the board at that point, probably half of them were HIV positive. And we'd watch board members get sick and die. And it was a very difficult time, obviously. What I did after that, and after Joe died actually, was I got started with something called the National AIDS Memorial Grove. It's a grove in San Francisco, in Golden Gate Park, and it was meant to become a place to memorialize those who had died of AIDS. So I became involved before it actually got started. I was on the original board, and we helped develop the plan for it. And what was most interesting about it was I was in charge of development or fundraising, and there was a volunteer get-together because we were all working in different areas. And I met my current husband, John, who was a landscape architect, who was helping design the AIDS Memorial Grove. So today there's a rock at the Grove that memorializes both John and I, and of course, my prior partner, Joe McCann, and hundreds and hundreds of my other friends who are now memorialized at the Grove. It's a very beautiful place. We were back there about a year ago, and you realize how many years have gone by. And when we went there, we planted trees that were 6 feet tall, and now they're 30 or 40 feet tall. And it's doing what it was meant to do. So I'm really proud of it. Nancy Pelosi named it the National AIDS Memorial Grove, so it's really a national monument. So that was a response to grief and a personal need I had to leave a lasting memorial to people who have died of AIDS. Well, the idea that the gay identity of being in a minority group has changed that dramatically is not really so. There are some changes, and it's gotten better, but the truth is, here in the Coachella Valley, where I'm actively involved now, I'm on the board of the LBGT Center, and we have initiatives that go down in the East Valley, which is 89% Hispanic, where those kids cannot come out. Their culture doesn't allow it. So we go down to them and we create a safe space for them to to live their lives and to come out as gay individuals. As I mentioned to you before, I'm now on the board of Digicom Learning. We do that through digital storytelling in the public schools. We have gay kids telling their story. So it's really about what Harvey Milk would have said, being open, being out, and being there with pride. But there's a lot of work to be done. Again, we can't assume that because many of us came from urban centers, that experience is the same, whether it be in the Coachella Eastern Valley or whether it be in the Midwest. Each person's experience is different. Who do we need to protect the most? Well, I think time will continue to move in our favor. I mean, if you look at Pete Buttigieg, who is a perfect example of somebody who is gay and proud and married, who has been able to take advantage of marriage equality, and who's openly in love with his husband and takes him on the presidential run. Just like Harvey would say, people meeting him, going on Fox News, people are seeing that a gay person is not the devil incarnate, that they can still be quote-unquote Christian, that they can still have strong values. So we will continue to have people stand up where it started with Ellen DeGeneres, now we have virtually a presidential candidate who potentially could end up in some kind of very high position. So I think a lot of it will evolve, but I think it's still incumbent upon us, you, me, to work at the lower levels, to make people know their capabilities, to let them know they can be whatever they want to be.
Yeah, perfect, thank you.